Hello, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. Got a quick project for you again. This one is going to be a knitting needle pouch, or you can use it for chopsticks, as you'll see later on, or your paint brushes. You can use it for artist brushes, makeup brushes, whatever your heart desires. Even a crayon pouch as well, so you can make it a little bit shorter if you wanted to. This is the fabric I'm using. It's a really nice oriental fabric with blues in it, and this has got some blue and gold fleck going through it. Two main pieces of fabric, some interfacing, and a couple of strips just for your ties. It's all the material that we need. Come along and I'll show you how we make this knitting needle wrap. We've got two pieces of fabric that are 27.5 inches by 19.5 inches, or 70 centimeters by 50 centimeters wide. This will be our lining piece, 27.5 by 19.5 inches, and this is the main fabric, which is the outside of the fabric, same size, 27.5 by 19.5 inches. And on this I've actually just fused a lightweight iron-on interfacing. Now, a lot of people ask me which ones you should use. You should use what you're happy with. If you want your pouch to be soft and bulky, or if you want it to be really stiff, use a Decovoil, use a Palin. It depends on the finish that you actually want for your product. I'm just using a lightweight iron-on interfacing. And the other thing that you'll need are two straps that are 19.5 inches long by 2 inches wide. And what you'll do is you'll fold them in half. So you fold it in half and bring the raw edge into the center on both sides, and then you'll fold it in half again. Now, on one side you're going to leave the edges raw, and on the other side you're going to fold it up about 1/4 inch. So before you do the long folds, fold the raw edge in just 1/4 inch, or about 6 mil, and then you can fold your edges in and fold it over. And what we will do is actually stitch all the way down the long side on both sides of both ties. This is a really simple project to do. So take your main fabric, have that faced up, and your lining fabric, and we'll face that down. So I've lined that up, and I'm going to clip this all the way around all 4 sides. We need to put our ties in, and we also need to leave an opening to turn it through, but I'll just clip all the sides together first. Today I'll use pins. Now, this has been pinned all the way around on all 4 sides, and I will leave an opening in just a second and insert the ties. But just, if you're using a directional fabric, make sure that the direction of the fabric, this is the narrow side here and your longest part here. So what will be happening is this, when we've turned it through, this will be folded up here and it'll be folded down there. So that's the top and that's the bottom. So you just want to make sure that if you've got a directional fabric, that you actually have it sitting the correct way. Now, I've gone and stitched my ties, so they've been stitched down the long edge of both sides and down on the short edge that is folded over. We need to find the center of our fabric. So we've got the longest part of our fabric here, fold that in half, find the center point, and I'm just going to notch that out with my scissors, just a really tiny notch. You can see the notch in my fabric just here. Take both your handle pieces, and with the raw edges, we're going to place them in between the layers of the fabric. So this is the finished edge and these are the raw edges. We can tuck that inside here, and we can continue to pin all the way around. Just have the 2 pieces of your tie next to each other here, and we'll pin that down and we can stitch over that. And we're going to stitch all the way around, but we are going to leave an opening. So if you come up to the top here at the shortest edge, move your pins aside, leave an opening wide enough to turn your work through. So I've left an opening of about 5 or so inches. We're going to start sewing here, back stitch all the way around, come back up here and we're going to back stitch here. I'm doing 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is only about 6 mil. If you want to do more, you can do that, that's fine. It's really up to yourself. I generally use the edge of my sewing machine foot as a guide for my seam allowance. So we can take this to the machine now, start stitching here all the way around and come back to here. Now as I stitch, I will on the corners just go up to the corner, back stitch a bit, and then come down, turn my work around, back stitch, and then continue on. So I'll reinforce all of my corners as I'm sewing as well. Okay, so I'm going to start sewing right here, back stitch, and go all the way around all 4 sides. When I get to the area where the tie is, I'm going to stitch over it, but then I'll go back over it again as well. So I'm just going to reinforce that stitch. You'll notice later on in the video that I've got my ties on either end of the pouch. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. It was an error I had made. So just make sure when you put your ties on, you actually put them on the same side of your pouch. And when you get to the end, leave your opening just there and just do a back stitch to finish off. So we have a small opening here just to turn everything through. Before we turn it through, we want to clip our corners. And this will give us nice crisp corners when we're turning our work through. So just trim your corners on all 4 sides. And now we can turn the whole pouch through. Poke your corners out so that they're nice and pointy. I've just used some tweezers. You can use a chopstick, the point of some scissors, a blunt needle, whatever you like. Once you've turned this through, there's your opening here. Give it a really good press all the way around. When you press it, you want to make sure that your lining fabric is on the lining side and that your main fabric is on the top. You don't want to have it rolled over so that you see one colour on the wrong side. We're going to go and top stitch this. So this is my lining side and this is my outside or the main side. I'm going to top stitch it from the top because I want to make sure that looks its best. So I'm just going to do a 1/8 inch top stitch, or about 3 or 4 mil top stitch all the way around, and that will close up that opening at the top. You can start anywhere. We've closed this up all the way around, and we can take this back over to the table now. We're going to do some folding and mark the channels, and we don't have much more to go with this. Now that we've gone and stitched all the way around, turn your fabric around so you've got the right side up. This is the top and this is the bottom edge of your fabric. Turn the bottom edge up just about 1/2 inch. Now this is just a decorative feature, so we're going to turn that up 1/2 inch, and then we're going to stitch right along that top stitch that we've already done, just to secure that down. So I'll just quickly go and do that after I've measured 1/2 inch all the way down. With the bottom edge stitched up 1/2 inch, we can now take our pouch and we want to fold the bottom edge up 6 inches. So take your measure and just fold the bottom edge up 6 inches all the way across, and we'll pin or clip that in place. Then we're going to stitch this side down as well as this side and do a top stitch along here. Once you've clipped that down, take the top section and we're going to fold that down 5 inches. So just take your measure 5 inches, and we're going to have that an even 5 inches all the way across. And what we'll do here is clip that in place. So we've got 5 inches secured at the top there, and we have 6 inches secured at the bottom. At the top, all we want to do is a top stitch just at the very top edge. We want to create a flap here. This flap here will stop your needles from falling out when you're carrying your pouch, so it doesn't matter if it's upside down or the right way around. This will prevent any needles or tools from falling out. So we only want to top stitch along the top edge there. With the bottom, we want to stitch the sides closed and top stitch down along the bottom. Once we've stitched the sides and the bottom there, we're going to mark channels that are 1 inch apart. So let's go and stitch this down first and then the sides on the bottom only. I'll do the top section first, and that is just stitching along the very top about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. By top stitching this along the top edge here, you're creating a permanent fold, so your fabric will always fold forward when you've got your tools sitting inside here. Turn your work around, and we're going to do exactly the same thing along the bottom edge, and then we'll come up and do the sides. I'm going to turn my work around now and come up and do that short side. When you get to the top edge here, you want to make sure you backstitch a couple of times. This is going to be a stress point, so it'll want to come apart. So just backstitch a couple of times there to make sure your seams don't come apart. So that's nice and secure in there, and we will repeat that for the other side. Okay, so this is stitched down both sides, top and bottom. With the bottom edge here now, we want to make some channels. Now I'm going to do 1 inch increments. You can do whatever you like. If you wanted to use this for paint brushes or chopsticks, artist's brushes or hair tools, you can decide whereabouts you want your channels. I'm just going to make these all exactly the same, so they'll be 1 inch apart. At the very end it might only be 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch even. Doesn't really matter. I'm just creating lots and lots of channels along here to fit knitting needles. So at the bottom here, I'm just going to go with the edge of the ruler and mark 1 inch increments all the way, and I'll mark that in a couple of sections just so that I can draw a straight line. Come down here and repeat that, and then I'm going to join those lines just so I've got something to follow with my needle. So you can see a very faint line just there. That should be enough for me to use as a guide to draw to stitch my straight lines. If you've got a see-through quilter's ruler, you can just find the line that you've done, take your 1 inch line and place it directly over the top, and then continue to draw on, and just use the previous line as your guide. And the last line, I've probably got about 1.5 inches, so I'm just going to do a line right down the centre. And there we go, it's completely finished. Now I may not have any knitting needles on hand, but I do have plenty of sets of chopsticks. So you can see how these work. You just pop your knitting needles, your paint brushes, or a collection of chopsticks into the little slots here. The top flap sits over the top, which will help prevent your needles from falling out. And then all you need to do is roll it up, tie your loops, and there we have our knitting needles or chopsticks nice and secure at the top. They're not going to fall out anywhere, and it's the same at the bottom, so everything's nicely tucked away on the inside, and you can store whatever tools you've got in here nice and neatly. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm going to leave it right here. Catch you next time.